Hello everyone and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto YouTube Charts video. I am No FOMO Charts. Today is Saturday, April 4, 2026. It's about 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the USA at night. Welcome everyone. This is a swing trading and investing YouTube Charts channel. Let's start off with the upcoming stock earning releases that are coming out this week. We have Levi Strauss, we have Delta Airlines, Applied Digital, Constellation Brands, Progressive Insurance, WD-40, and BlackBerry, just to name a few companies. Upcoming economic data. This week we have OPEC IMMC meetings, services PMI. The big data should be FOMC meeting minutes, core PCE price index, final GDP index, CPI, core CPI are the three biggest economic data numbers coming out, consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations. Recent news, there's quite a bit of news. The Iran military conflict continues. President Trump said the USA would only consider a ceasefire once the Strait of Hormuz is open, free, and clear. A few days later, President Trump's speech, he warned that the USA would continue striking Iran for another 2 to 3 weeks, depending on their negotiations and if they respond or not. SpaceX confidentially filed for IPO, and they aim to raise up to $75 billion USD. Tesla missed vehicle deliveries globally for Q1 2026, and the stock price went down. Nike share price tumbled due to weak guidance from earnings recently. Coinbase received conditional approval from the OCC to operate as a trust bank, potentially enabling operation of payment products in addition to custody of crypto. Stock market earnings season officially begins soon on April 13th, with big banks reporting that Monday and that week. Chart events. So there's a lot here that I'm giving, and this is because over the next 2 to 3 weeks, if there's a change in the Iran military conflict situation, and if earnings are good, there's a small chance that we could bounce in the stock market. And so I'm just going to go ahead and show these later in the video today, that there's about 8 stocks that have MACD bullish momentum that's forming. It's in a formation right now. It's not final. 7 to 8 stocks with that in the daily chart, and then 1 or 2 with price support consolidation patterns. Bitcoin and crypto, price is actually consolidating right now. It's actually, for now, it's okay. We don't want to get trapped in a fake dead cat bounce, a fake rally, and then continue crashing. So I'll show that. But there's a potential for the bullish bounce in the price if support levels hold this month in April 2026. Let's start off with stocks. SPY, S&P 500 here on the daily chart. Last week, that anchored VWAP was correct. We held that level 637, 630, 635, basically this candle, and rallied nicely up to the 200 EMA. So these are not random spots that we're stopping. The support was that anchored VWAP from last week. We pierced that, and exactly one of the scenarios I was talking about, that morning star candle, confirmed that, and we rallied up. But where did we rally up to? Up to the 200 EMA resistance, which is 657 for now. So we're stuck between 657 and 629. So the two scenarios that I'm thinking for SPY could happen. First, the bearish scenario could be, since we're already in a downtrend, if any other bad news happens, we can continue rejecting down. In a bearish scenario, that happened during the tariff crash 1 year ago, where we were below the 200 EMA. It looked like it was going to get better, and then tariffs went on for dozens of countries, and then we crashed. So that could happen. It looks like we might get the ceasefire or the war might end in 2 to 3 weeks, but if it doesn't, then we might crash in the stock price. Now, the opposite, inverse, would be bullish scenario. I could already see a potential upside down head and shoulders. We could also have a higher low reversal, and if earnings are good, people say, maybe the outlook's going to be good in the next 1 or 2 years. So that happened in the tariff crash as well. Very volatile, higher low, however, and then we rallied and we got the golden cross. So if we're going to repeat that bullish pattern again, we could have some volatility here in the price. We could even come down. But if we don't cross below 630, then if the price goes above 200 EMA, we actually have a chance that we could recover here. So that's what I'm watching out for. Now, on a weekly chart, what I like is we're at low stochastic on the weekly chart. And so usually when that happens the first or the second time, there is some kind of bounce. So that's what I'm looking out for. NASDAQ, I just flipped to the next chart and it looks almost exactly the same. So that analysis for SPY also holds for NASDAQ as well. Some NASDAQ tech stocks are oversold on a stochastic RSI level. So again, if it's bearish, we should reject and continue downtrending. If it's bullish reversal, we need to hold. And once we make that higher low, then I think people will start to enter the market again. Dow Jones. Why I was drawing this, I was analyzing this privately before this video. And here on the left arrows that I'm circling, these are the two scenarios that I want to see in this box. I want to see a higher low in the price, higher low, and then reversal. Or I want to see a golden cross on shorter term EMAs or longer term EMAs. And then the price needs to get above that EMAs, and then we could continue an uptrend. So this X up here means I don't want to buy when we're at all-time high levels. The question mark here for Dow Jones and for a lot of indexes is how much are we going to drop? Meaning, can we get this higher low? Are we going to get it now in April? Are we going to get it in 3 months from now? That's what I'm watching out for in this price. And then once the price, and this is a bullish scenario, if that price survives, then we should have EMA small up crosses because we had death cross on our 1226 daily. So I need to see that actually up cross again. And then maybe we get a chance at a price rally. IWM, very nice, held that bottom 240 and squeezed up for now. Going to see if that resistance holds above 251 or not, because it could consolidate as well. Let's go to oil. So I will admit that I was half wrong on oil. I let go of my oil trade way too early. So I exited way down here. So I should have re-entered, but it's okay. I don't really like crowded trades, but I do want to point out that on oil, what was the signal even before the Iran war happened? Right after I would say the Venezuela military conflict with the US is that there was a golden cross on oil. And this printed on February 4th here. And then we're making higher highs and higher lows. And then we had the breakout finally for oil. USO ETF. So just a reminder that I'm trying to keep it simple on this live stream, that I'm not trying to do perfect entries and perfect breakouts. I'm trying to at least catch the more bigger, broader signal. So oil, if it's going to be on a runner up here, I don't really like chasing things too high, especially on a weekly chart. So I'm just going to pass. Other people can do whatever they want with it. So natural gas. Natural gas is still technically in a downtrend. We are in this death cross on the EMAs. We are holding a volume profile level of support that I'm seeing here in terms of 1125. So I'm going to see if this double bottoms or not. It could crash all the way down to 10. And then I might enter at 10 when it's kind of extreme like that. Could be interesting, but technicals do not always work. I've backtested indicators before. It needs to get extreme for something to happen, meaning really low or really high. We could see the algorithms and the traders playing that scenario out. So when it's kind of stuck in the middle, I just kind of pass or just wait on natural gas. Gold ETF, I do want to remind people Gold printed its golden cross all the way back here in October 2023, and we've been riding the 100 EMA for a long time now, 2 years now. Now that we had this crash after the symmetrical triangle broke bearish, actually almost hit that 200 EMA. We hit intraday oversold levels, which for me on a daily chart means stochastic oversold. So if this is a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, we could actually keep rejecting down. We could go up a little bit more and then reject back down. So if we get a double bottom, I might re-enter here, but it's not my optimal setup. For me, I like silver a little bit better just because compared to the gold chart, there's actually double momentum for now. This is one of my ideas here, but it looks like it might have already went. I was starting to go up, but I like this first low, second low, and then the double MACD here on the chart. A weekly, it could just mean it's a bounce, but I do like how stochastic weekly is oversold. I like that. Very quickly overview, let's just look at XLK and XLF because those are two important ETFs for now. Technology ETF, that symmetrical triangle did break bearish, and we had that piercing of the Bollinger Band linear regression last week. So when it gets really oversold like that, I should have entered 3 weeks ago, but I was being very conservative right now. But this is that QQQ setup right here, rejecting below 136 or holding that for now. So we're still in a holding pattern, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. I need to see that reject one more time, hold, and then we could get that up cross. XLF is actually in a worse condition. It's death crossed by definition. It printed lower lows and lower highs. But what is interesting is that MasterCard, for example, and American Express, especially American Express, even though they're death crossed, they're showing some serious momentum building. Okay, so it just means we could get a small pop up to like 322. But I like the fact that after a drop here, we went sideways. And if we're not going to drop below 291 and it's going to range bound before earnings, it could actually short squeeze up to the upside. That's what I'm watching for. Same thing with MasterCard here, but a little less so. Let's look at Visa, a little less so. For some reason, somebody's liking American Express a lot more here. Let's go to those chart ideas I was showing. Even though Microsoft is in a death cross downtrend, if I was to do some kind of aggressive trade in terms of swing trading, it looks like just levels of value is, for now, it's looking like an interesting bullish momentum here. So this does not mean Microsoft can recover right away, but I like how it's kind of slowing down on the bearish momentum, getting to that tariff level of support from 1 year ago. See if it can rally back up to 405. It needs to hold above 353. Next, interesting setup. And again, these are aggressive swing trades. This is not really ideal for investors to buy on from investing mindset because it did death cross. We like to see, for investing, I need to see more of a golden cross scenario with uptrends. This is a death cross. So this is more like just a little bounce opportunity or scalp opportunity, in my opinion. So what I like is the RSI bullish momentum starting, but it could get quite oversold here before it could dump a little bit more before it gets that bounce. Something I'm watching. Ford, even though it had a serious problem here, there's that MACD, the single MACD momentum that's building. But like I said, for trading, this is a bounce trade setup, but I like this golden cross setup better that happened in the past, just to clarify that. Qualcomm is in a death cross, but it's starting to get that double squeeze momentum on the double squeeze momentum on the squeeze histogram. Sorry, my alerts are firing. I'm hearing a noise right now. Looks like hour hit right now. All right, so that Qualcomm trade can pump up to like 135. These are always risky though, because it's better. What I'm showing are kind of like just what my scanner is showing me. I don't always trade these. It's just I need to just be aware that that exists in the market. I can always pass. because the better thing to do is wait for an uptrend and just get in there of the price, or get in a golden cross and then play one of those oversold bounces, because that's a dip buy. Right now, we are in a confirmed downtrend. So it's not crystal clear on the charts of, are we really going to uptrend or not? I need to see the reversal happen or get like earnings breakout or something. Okay, next, American Airlines. I do like that it at least consolidated. Yes, it has death cross, but at least consolidated here, and some of that momentum is building. Let's go to crypto. Thank you for watching. If you watch all these videos, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, I try to be detailed as possible. I know I should be making shorter videos, but I don't like to give just, 5-second information. I need to be detailed because so the ideas can scale. Meaning these are serious ideas. These are not just kind of like $10 scalps. Like, these can be used potentially for big money setups when the time is correct. So total crypto market cap here on crypto, TOTAL. We are in a confirmed death cross downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low. Are we going to get a lower high, and are we going to get another leg down? That's the question right now. Is this formation that's happening in crypto, is this a trap? Is this a bull trap, meaning that we can rally and then fade down? Just like what happened. We pierced the 50, we pierced the 100 EMA, we got the war and tariff problems, inflation problems. Previous military conflict, I mean, we had the war here. So the only good thing is that Bitcoin is actually holding. We're not actually flash crashing in Bitcoin, so that's good. Symmetrical triangle. What I also do like is that stochastic was oversold for a while. Get in the beginning of a little bit of double momentum. What I really like for total and for Bitcoin is that the weekly chart possibly held that support above 2.2 trillion, and the RSI is low on a weekly. So from an investing standpoint, I'm way more interested in crypto than I am in stocks right now. So for Bitcoin, if we use a new chart, I'll just use Bitfinex for example, is we can also see the same setup play out. Is that we're in the downtrend. We are in the death cross. We're actually holding a level of trendline support, which is, that's fine, that's okay. Turning into a symmetrical triangle going sideways. Stochastic RSI oversold. The beginnings of a double MACD momentum. I love that Bitcoin weekly price is double bottomed above 66,000. The MACD is growing. We have a bullish momentum, slight bullish momentum on the MACD, on the RSI and stochastic RSI. If Bitcoin rallies, we could rally up to 75,000, 74,000, the top of this symmetrical triangle. That would be very nice. Pivots. We are holding above S2 volatility pivot, coming back to the daily chart. What needs to happen is we need to do this. We need to rally. I think I lost my internet connection. One moment, please. That's rare for a trading view chart to shut off like that. But okay. So we have, let's continue. What I like about Bitcoin daily is that higher high, higher low. If we can break this higher high, get up to 71,000, we need to get above this pivot point basically, and then stay above the pivot point. And then the next month's pivot point, we need to keep doing that to get up to 80. So that's how we're going to get out of here for Bitcoin. I just like that we're not flash crash dumping, meaning the whales, the institutions, rich people are not just selling billions of dollars of Bitcoin that we're going to crash 30%. It could happen. So that's the bearish ending for this chart, is that if we don't rally and we lose support below 65, 60,000, then I think we're in big trouble on Bitcoin. The downside targets could be 40 to 20,000. Capitulation could happen fairly quickly this year. But I like that we're giving ourselves a chance here to recover. Ethereum USD, we are also in this death cross in the downtrend here in the price. For now, we are holding this. We are holding the $1,800 level. And like I said, on the weekly chart, I very much like to see this double MACD. I like this low stochastic RSI, and it's not quite oversold on regular RSI. But we could flash plunge down to 1200, and then maybe I would really like to enter in there. I am holding positions in some cryptocurrencies long right now. So that's what I'm looking for. Just need to be patient. Hold here above 1900, hold above 1800. There might be a little baby inverse head and shoulders here. If that's true, should go 10% to the upside. If that's true, we should rally up to 2300 at some point in this month if we hold. So I'm watching very closely for that. XRP. XRP. Kind of ugly. It's not quite a triangle. If at best, this could be a symmetrical. So this might be, if we could rally here halfway to the full triangle, could rally to $1.40 to $1.50. If we have good news, but we could also just flash dump like that. So that's why it's very critical we hold this level 130. Solana. Solana, some of that hype has definitely died down, has reduced for over a year now. Death cross, lower lows in the price. Only thing good that I could say about Solana is that in the longer term, we are below the 618 range. And again, on a weekly chart, this momentum and low RSI is what we're dealing with. So actually touching that 30 RSI to 31, the last time that actually touched was in 2022, but that's before we had a flash crash. So this could happen, and watch out that we don't have an extra negative 30% dump. Actually, excuse me, that was negative 50% dump. That would feel bad. That would be a $40 Solana before we recover. So I still think we could recover. It's just we need to stop crashing first. As I end, let's just flash look at the other charts. Tron actually had its double bottom bounce. Very beautiful to see on a weekly chart. Dogecoin still basing here. There is momentum though on a weekly, so there's a chance. Same thing with Cardano, momentum building on a weekly chart. Zcash actually had its potential triangle down here. It's actually slowly uptrending. Very suspicious chart. It's a short-term bounce. Zen Horizon with the potential double bottom on the weekly. Link is building. So Link, for example, weekly charts, I need to see like a double bottom to get really excited. But if it's basing, that's also kind of okay. XLM Stellar, it's also building its next MACD momentum. So we can see that I could see it's building, meaning the pressure of the momentum on the charts. It's just a matter of, can I be patient, just wait for it, not let any particular single day kick me out of the market. Unless we have massive capitulation selling, then that would kick me out of the market. But it seems right now that, for example, like on Ethereum Classic, it's making lower lows, lower highs, but some serious weekly momentum happening here. So we have to base for a while, just like we did back here in 24 November. And then if any good news comes out, we could pop up to the upside. All right, thank you everyone for watching. Really appreciate all of my subscribers. If you learned something from this video, if you like this video, go ahead and click like, consider clicking subscribe, hit the notification bell for the next video. I hope you have a nice weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.